Hope you're having a good day. It's Tuesday. We used to have a bull named Brandon, so my husband got me a coffee cup a few years ago. Let's go, Brandon. Brandon, as in branding. Brandon. Anyway, our bull was a Texas Longhorn. We don't have him anymore. He was getting a little too big, and our fencing wasn't going to be holding up to him, and we didn't have the time to put in better fencing. So we found him a herd of beautiful heifers and cows, and he is living the life of a king. Absolutely. When he was with us, he was only surrounded by goats and sheep. We had a heifer calf, but he couldn't be anywhere near her. She was too young. He would have broken her, would have been horrible. Oh, that's hot. Coffee, decaffeinated coffee. Bear with me while I log into my computer. See what we have here. Okay, it's probably going to want me to log in again. I was on one of those websites that tells you your credit score. And I want to tell you, it wasn't good news. My credit score is fine. I'm fine. But this particular person's credit score, not fine. Not fine. Hey, hello, whoever just came in. Thank you for joining me. If you want to let me know who you are, where you are, that'd be awesome. Okay, there we go. I'm up and running. I just wanted to get my live stream on my laptop. I have an Apple. I put a cupcake sticker on it. I have an Apple, what is it called, an iMac? I don't know, it doesn't say what it is, like nowhere. I don't know, let me see, does it say what it is? It has an apple in the upper left corner. About this Mac, it's a Mac, okay. It is a MacBook Pro version 10.15.7. And from what I understand, it can't be updated anymore. My Mac is too old. So I think I need to spend some money and get a new Mac. I don't know if I want to stay with Apple products. My phone has gotten 2 updates in the last month, and they have both just chewed up the memory. So I'm not real happy with my phone. I don't know, guys. Not sure. What do you guys think? Do any of you have you gone from Android to Apple and then back to Android? Because that would be my scenario. Because I've been Apple for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years maybe. But I'm kind of wondering, the last 2 updates have really chewed up my memory. I have almost no apps on my phone, and I have very few photos and videos on my phone. I'm having to constantly delete them as I take them. It's really annoying. Anyway, hi, welcome to my live stream. I'm Mel. I'm not at Nana's Ranch right now. I'm at the house. You can see this beautiful painting behind me, an original work. It is a watercolor from an Australian artist who passed away during COVID. I'm not sure if he succumbed to COVID. Don't know. Anyway, I've got 2 of his paintings. One of them is right behind me. Beautiful. I wish I knew his name. I should know his name. Who's in here? Hey, Natalie. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate that. So I wanted to talk about credit because I have very good credit. I have excellent credit. 800 to 820. My husband and I did just take out a credit card about a month ago. So my credit probably dropped a little from 820 down. So I'm not sure exactly what it is right now. But I got a call from someone on Monday who wants to move to a different apartment. And it's kind of a weird situation. She knows a person who lives in these apartments. My dog is right back there by my tripod looking for popcorn. I sit here and eat popcorn, and if one of the kernels falls, I throw it for the dogs, but sometimes they fall over that way and I can't get to them, so the dogs go over there. Anyway, I digress. So she called me on Monday and said, I want to look at these apartments. A woman she knows lives there and told her, oh, you should move in here. You'll love it. It's great. She told me the address of the apartment, and my brain kind of went, that's not good. That's not good. The address is bad. It's a very bad address. I knew exactly where it was. It's a bad address. So I took her there. And the funny thing is, she can't stand this woman, and this woman can't stand her. They're both old women. They're both old. Okay. But I think this woman would get like a sign-on bonus or something if she brings someone in. So she was like, yeah, you should move in here. It'll be great. Well, thankfully, there were no units available that this woman could move into. She needs a ground floor apartment, and there were none available. I did talk to the manager, and we decided it wasn't a good fit. But then I thought, oh my gosh, because she's told me things over the years. She doesn't have good credit. Like, I didn't know how bad it was, but I knew she had told me some things that made it sound like maybe she doesn't have good enough credit to move out of the situation she's in right now. So today she gave me permission to do a few things for her. Hey, Valerie. APP. What does that mean? APP? Anyway, so I did a little research for her. Hello. Hey, Carson. Goated? I raise goats. Oh, sorry, because you're brothers. That's funny. Say hi to your brothers for me. So I did get her permission and we worked together, and I got a credit report for her on Experian. And I'm not going to type into it right now, but because of some of her issues with money, not that she's poor, she has a ton of money. She just sometimes has a tantrum and decides she doesn't want to pay her bills. They're just like 2-year-olds. Well, yeah. Oh, Guy, I would love to show you a sign I gave my husband for Christmas. It says, it's from Hobby Lobby. It says something like, when is the older and wiser supposed to kick in? Because he's 65 and he's no wiser now than he was when he was a child. Anyway, well, he is, but in some ways he's not. So I looked at her credit score, and it was in the mid 500s. Mine is in the 800s, okay? I can't imagine having credit in the mid 500s. So I did go to the apartment complex. No, I called that apartment complex. So we decided she couldn't move in there. I went to a different apartment complex, a very nice apartment complex in a nice neighborhood, for about $100 more than the other one, maybe 150. I don't know. She can't get in without a cosigner. She has enough money to pay 2 years' rent in cash, and she would still have a ton of money left over. But she has to get through. Hey, Doozer. I do like snacks like that. Absolutely. I don't eat a lot of snack foods, but I do like that. Yeah, that's very good. In fact, I am right now making potato soup, and I'm putting sour cream and onion in the potato soup. So absolutely, I like that. So she has to get through the process to apply because it's a nationwide company. I can tell that. I can say what that is. Let's see. Sorry, I've got to go get my paperwork. Okay. The apartment complex is run by a corporation, I think it's nationwide, called Universal Living Community. And I knew when I drove up, I was like, okay, a bad credit score is not going to fly here. So I told her the bad news. The good news is the apartment that I found that's in a beautiful location. It's got sidewalks around it. She can walk her dog. I mean, it's just a really nice apartment complex. I'm sitting in the manager's office and I'm looking out the window at the swimming pool, which is a saltwater swimming pool. They've got a dog park in the complex. I mean, it's just a really nice complex, okay? She can't get in because she has a crappy credit score. And she has way more money than I have. Like, I don't have any money, okay? She has way more money than I do. She's, by most people's standards, she's rich, but she has crappy credit because she's made some really bad decisions when it comes to paying her bills. It's very unfortunate. I think her credit was like 560 something, and I mean, it was bad. So I'm helping her build her credit. So here you go. Yes, you know what? Game changer. I have decaffeinated coffee, and I put a caramel flavored collagen and peptide powder in it, so it's got a little bit of protein in it. and then I put milk in it. I use whole milk. I sweeten it with a little bit of Truvia. I'm just kind of spoiling myself. Anyway, to rebuild her credit, first thing she did, she paid the one bill she didn't want to pay. Like she had purchased something and had it installed and she didn't like it, but she wanted to keep it. So her way of having a tantrum was to just not pay the bill, right? Oh, I just won't pay for it. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, you kind of have to pay for it. So today she paid for it. She finally paid for it after, I want to say 3 years, maybe. So that dinged her credit pretty bad. Then other credit cards dropped her because of that. So she got dropped. So that's a bad thing on her score. So paying that off was a good idea. Now here's the thing with paying it off. If you have really bad credit and you have some outstanding debt that's at collections, and this was at collections, don't negotiate a lower payoff because that will show as a settlement on your credit record. Whereas if you pay the whole thing, it shows as paid in full, PIF. So I told her, well, I can try to negotiate a lower payoff for you. And I was talking to the person. I said, what does this look like when you turn this into the credit reporting agency? What does the payoff look like? And they said, well, it either looks like a settlement where we had a negotiation and we settled on a price, or it looks like a paid in full. So in order to help her credit, we paid it in full. So it's paid in full. That was good. The next thing to do, because I looked at other parts of her credit, and I can't go into here to actually tell you exactly what it was that she doesn't have a lot of lines of credit because a lot of them have been canceled on her. She does have one credit card that she uses consistently. And that credit card has a fairly low limit, most likely because she has a bad credit score, but she keeps it either maxed out or above the max. So it showed that her credit usage is about either 103 or 107% what it should, the maximum. So what she needs to do is she needs to pay off that credit card. She has the money. It's only like $1,000, okay? It's got a really low credit limit on it. She has to pay off that credit card, and then she has to only spend about $300 a month on that credit card. I don't know what she's paying on it now. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Not sure about that. But she has to pay off that credit card and then go on a very severe purchasing diet. So that's the next thing that has to happen. And she can't take out any new sources of credit. So she can't go, okay, well, I'll just spend $300 on this card, but I'll open up another card over here where I'll spend $700 or $800 a month. She can't do that. She has to get it down to $300 a month. And she has she has to go January, February, and March. Very good spending, very low spending. So 3 months of very low spending, not because she doesn't have any money. She has plenty of money, but because her credit score is hurt because she is spending the maximum on that card every month and above the maximum. Now she's making big payments on it. Like she's making sometimes $700 payments on it, sometimes $300. Sometimes she'll do $200 or $300 payments a month on it. So she's keeping it paid down, but I'm finding out that's only because she's at the max all of the time. Now, she does have a relative I'll be talking to soon who's kind of wondering what's going on. So I'll be telling that person, this is what I found. This is what's happening. This is what needs to change. Maybe we can get her in that other apartment, not the one where she wanted to go. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about a bad neighborhood? I've only lived here for a little more than 4.5 years. And when she told me the address of the apartment complex, I knew immediately it was a bad place. I knew immediately that's a bad neighborhood. Thanks to Facebook, people told me, oh no, that's a bad neighborhood. I didn't, like a year ago, people told me, this is a terrible neighborhood. We bought a house there and we had to get rid of it because there was so much vandalism and so much thievery and all that all around there. So no, bad neighborhood. Anyway, I'm going to be working with her and her relative who is not local to try to get her credit built up in the next quarter so that she can actually get into this apartment. And then the family member can figure some things out for her with her money so that if she has to move to a new place in the future, she can do that. Hey, I appreciate the 3 people who gave me a thumbs up, and I don't know who is still in here. Hey, Christian, but I appreciate the person who is still in here. Thank you for being here. I just wanted to do a real quick review on credit, but if you want to talk about, I'm kind of done now. The first thing we're going to do, well, the first thing she did today was she paid off that one bill that she didn't want to pay. That's over with. Okay, that's done. That will show up as a paid in full. A letter will be coming to her in the mail that shows paid in full, and it'll show up on her credit record as paid in full. So her credit will be awesome. Well, no, that'll be gone. Her credit will still suck, and we only have to get it up to, I think, it's at 560 or something. We only have to get her credit up to the mid 600s in order for her to qualify to move into that other apartment without a cosigner. If she can find someone to cosign for her that has good credit, she can move in. But me personally, I'm not going to take a risk on someone with such bad credit. I wouldn't cosign for anyone anyway, but I especially would never cosign for someone with really bad credit. So if you're in here, if you have bad credit, ask me a question. I might be able to tell you how my credit is so good. My credit is amazing. Like, it's in the 800s. It was in the 820s a month ago, before my husband and I took out another credit card. And the only reason we took it out was so that we could take advantage, of a discount. And so we took it out because there was a huge discount on it, and it offered us some benefits that were just too good to resist. I have one credit card right now that I need to call on and find out why there's a $99 balance on it, because I didn't make a purchase on it. I might have put gas in my car, but that's it. And I have another credit card that has around probably $20 on it. I'll be paying that off this month. And I will be canceling that credit card when I'm done. I like to have 1 or 2 credit cards only. I don't like to have a lot of credit cards, and I don't like to have a balance on my credit cards. If you have any questions, ask me. I'll try to answer them. I am not a financial expert, but I do have excellent credit, and I know what I've done. And I know what I'm trying to help this lady do before she, I guess, runs out of money. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to run out of money, but she's got a lot of money. She's got really bad credit. It's crazy to have so much money and such bad credit. Doesn't make any sense. Hey, Trevor Bible 9249, God bless you. Thank you so much. I did curl my hair today. That's all I did. And what do I use on this wrinkly old face? Tallow. I use tallow on my face. I put tallow on. Thank you to those of you who gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. So if you have any credit questions, go ahead and ask me. My credit is banging, absolutely banging credit. This lady I'm trying to help, not so much. I don't usually talk about money. I don't usually talk about credit. I usually talk about animals, goats, ducks, dogs, grandchildren. I don't talk about my grandkids very much. My husband sometimes. He's at the ranch trying to get ready for a very deep freeze, I think, for us that's coming to Northeast Tennessee. We're not used to a lot. I did talk to a lawyer today about this lady's finances. The family member will want to know what the lawyer had to say. There's a lot that needs to happen to get her into this new apartment situation, so hopefully she will. Hopefully she'll be able to, because honestly, it's in a really good neighborhood. I mean, where she's at right now is really nice. It's just very expensive, and she doesn't want to stay there anymore. She wants to go to a different location, and she'll be close enough that I'll be able to help her more if she wants my help. And she'll be saving a ton of money every month, which is also really important, especially when you're too old to get a job. If you can't work anymore, it doesn't do you any good to not have any money. You've got to have some kind of income. So if she's on here watching, hey, I apologize. I'm not going to mention who you are or anything like that. Thank you to the 4 that have given me a thumbs up. I sure do appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions about how I keep my credit in decent shape, just ask. I am not afraid to cancel credit cards. I will do that, and I have done that. But it only affects my credit about that much. Can you see? About that much. Because I have such good credit, it really doesn't matter. So when I cancel that one credit card, It's not going to matter. Okay, if you guys aren't going to ask me any questions. Where's my book? Who took my book? Here's my book. Okay. We'll get into the Little Giant Encyclopedia of One-Liners. It's all full of jokes from 1999. Short and Tall. Okay, YouTube wants to ask me, what is a good name for a pet rock? I'll type that in. What is a good name for a pet rock? Actually, let's put the book down here. All right, YouTube. Hey, Chirping. Hello. I had a pet rock in the 1970s. I won't say a boyfriend. I was too young to have a boyfriend. I think, or was it my boyfriend? Oh, I might have had a boyfriend. My boyfriend might have given it to me. I think in high school. Yeah, late 70s. He gave me a pet rock. And that kind of described his personality. But I didn't name it. I don't remember naming my pet rock. I remember my pet rock. It was cool. Came with a little wooden crate and some shredded wood that looked like hay. And it was just this rock in there. It was kind of funny. I had it for a while. I guess I could have taken it with me when I went jogging in the middle of the night. Just a rock in my hand could have, defended myself. That would have been awesome. Okay. Thank you to those of you who gave me a thumbs up. Again, I do appreciate it. And thanks to those of you who are chatting. Okay, let's read a joke or two. My husband just got home, so we're going to have a little bit of dog drama. Maury Amsterdam. I don't know who Maury Amsterdam is or was, but this is from 1999, and a lot of the comedians in this book are very old. Yes, Dave?
This thing has got a pocket. It has just a huge bubble on it.
Okay, you can probably turn it off. Thank you. I have soup on the stove. I'm making potato soup. I started in show business when I was 14 and only the size of a kid of 10. By 20, though, I'd shot up to the size of a kid of 11. By Maury Amsterdam. Okay. Rodney Dangerfield. I feel sorry for short people, you know? When it rains, they're the last to know. Rodney. He was funny. Dave and the dog drama. Yeah, lots of dog drama. Actually, I haven't seen the dog. He always has Chaos with him, and when Chaos comes home, the girls get up and they sniff him from head to toe and all around because they're just like, where have you been? Who have you been talking to? Fred Allen said, he's the only man I know that can milk a cow standing up. Toady Fields. I remember the name. I don't know who Toady Fields was or is. I'm not fat at all. I'm just short for my weight. I should be 9'7". I guess Toady was a big girl. All right, these are unattributed, and I apologize if these hurt anybody's feelings, but some of them are going to be downright funny. He was so tiny that he could wear a short-sleeved shirt with French cuffs. Say that? Okay. He was so short he had to stand on a chair to change his mind. He was so short he could get lost in shag carpeting. Wow, these are a lot of short jokes. Where are the tall jokes? It was so annoying how he always complained about being so short. So one day I just stepped on him. Here's a tall joke. He was so tall that when he fell down, he had to make 2 trips. He was so tall that when he bent over to tie his shoelaces, his feet would have to meet him halfway. Okay. He was so tall, he had a schooner tattooed on his chest, actual size. He was very tall and thin. He looked like a flagpole with hair. I don't know. Those weren't all that funny. There were some that were funny. Let's see. Superiority and inferiority. Dial a Prayer hung up on me. That was by Jackie Vernon. Bob Hope said, my mother always taught me to be kind to my inferiors, but she never told me what to do when I was in a room where I didn't have any. The meek shall inherit the earth. They won't have the nerve to refuse it, said Jackie Vernon. Rodney Dangerfield said, I get no respect. I get mail that begins, you may already be a loser. There used to be mail that was sent to us. You may already be a winner. You just don't know it yet. And then you had to jump through all these hoops and buy a bunch of magazines, and you were never a winner. Okay, George Bernard Shaw. I often quote myself. It adds spice to my conversations. Why did the duck go to the chiropractor? I don't know, chirping. Why did the duck go to the chiropractor? Come on now. Type it out. All right. While you're typing, I'm going to do this. Every time I leave the house, my wife tells me to call her in case something goes right. Rodney Dangerfield. Hello, whoever that is from Morocco. Welcome. To get its... Why did the duck go to the chiropractor? To get its back quacked. That's good. I like that. That brought tears to my eyes. That was funny. Milton Berle said he has a terrible inferiority complex, and he's right. Ooh, that's so bad. Snore once. No, Christian, I don't do funny sounds, so get over it, dude. He was so tall. Oh, no, we already did the tall one. That's right. Okay. George Goebbels asked the question, do you ever feel like the whole... Let's start over. Do you ever feel like the whole world's a tuxedo and you are a pair of brown shoes? That sounds bad. Woody Allen. Woody Allen, yuck. My only regret in life is that I'm not someone else. Okay, I understand that. It's not as much a joke as it is a confession. I know, yeah. I know a guy who has such an ego that when he prays, he says, Dear God, do you need anything? Wow. This gentleman has such a big head that when he wears a 10-gallon hat, it's 1 gallon too small. Guy with a big head. Yeah, there are a lot of creeps chirping. They're like 12, 13-year-old boys, and they just think they're super funny. This guy thinks he's just a little better than everybody else. When he spells his name, he capitalizes the first 2 letters. Okay. You know, chirping, I just have to picture my grandsons being little jerks on the computer. That's kind of what they are. I'll get the soup finished in a little bit. Just telling a few jokes. His head is so big that his ears are in separate zip codes. What was that, Mad Magazine that had the kid on the front with the ears that were super huge?
Walter E. Newman?
Was it Walter Newman?
Walter E. Newman?
That was the picture? Okay. This guy admits he has no humility, but if he did have it, it would be better than everybody else's. Okay. No matter what this...
Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble.
No matter what this guy does, he thinks that no one can hold a candle to him, although a lot of people would like to. I'm sorry I'm fumbling these so badly. Here's a guy with a giant ego. When he went to see Mount Rushmore, his first words were, "Hey guys, move over." That sounds like Donald Trump. He would say that. That's actually probably a Trump joke, and I don't mind Donald Trump at all. This guy's ego is so big that when he gets on a plane, it won't fit in the overhead compartment. Okay. This guy casts 2 shadows, one for him and one for his ego.
Go.
This guy once wrote a book and called it The 10 Greatest People in History and My Views on the Other 9. I'd like to have an inferiority complex, but I don't think I'm good enough. Wah, wah. I thought I had an inferiority complex, but it turned out to be just good judgment. I know a lot of people with inferiority complexes, but theirs are all better than mine. Aww.
I thought I made a mistake one time, but I was wrong.
You thought you made a mistake one time, but you were wrong? Oh, he thought he made a mistake one time, but he was wrong. That's my husband. That's what I live with, you guys. He thought he made a mistake one time, but he was wrong. Oh dear. Okay, Chirping said there's a Family Guy scene where the guy has big ears and one of the characters is dating him. The girls are gossiping and he just walks up and they say, "We were talking about the other stuff." About other stuff. Okay, I don't get it. I apologize, Chirping. I don't get it. I should get it. We were talking about other stuff. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. I'm a little dense sometimes, Chirping. I don't get a lot of these jokes. Okay. Okay. Because I feel inferior, I try harder. Because I am inferior, it doesn't do any good. Oh my gosh. I told the doctor I sometimes feel so inferior that I don't think anyone notices me at all. He said, "Next." Okay, we're getting out of that. Okay, we're into lying and the truth. Mark Twain. There are 3 kinds of lies. Lies, damned lies, and statistics. If you know anything about statistics, you know they are mostly lies. This is the Little Giant Encyclopedia of One-Liners, and it is out of print. Might be able to find it on eBay, maybe? I got it at a thrift shop. They were doing a take as many books as you want for free thing, and so I came home with about 10 books. Maybe 20, but don't tell Dave. He didn't hear a thing because he's crunching on potato chips.
Find yourself a veranda.
Find myself a veranda for my books? By the way, did you see the fish outside?
Mm-hmm.
Think they'll be okay there, or are we going to have to move them?
That's not a good spot.
That's not a good spot? Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Rodney Dangerfield said, "I told my wife the truth. I told her I was seeing a psychiatrist. Then she told me the truth, that she was seeing a psychiatrist, 2 plumbers, and a bartender." That's Rodney Dangerfield. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Yeah, you know what, Chirping? I'm sure the books are all around me, and he probably saw them, but he probably thought, maybe I just didn't recognize it.
The person who coined, "I get no respect."
Yes, he did. Rodney Dangerfield coined "I get no respect." His whole shtick was about nobody respecting him. And it was hilarious. Every single time he told jokes, I just died laughing. I didn't actually literally die. I'm still here. But he was really funny. It was good. It was very, very good. Oscar Wilde, if one tells the truth, one is sure, sooner or later, to be found out. If one tells the truth? That's weird. Mark Twain, there's one way to find out if a man is honest. Ask him. If he says yes, you know he's crooked. That's interesting. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. That's what Abraham Lincoln said. I think we have to take that that's true. That is so true. Eventually, you figure out when somebody's been telling you lie after lie after lie. George Washington said to his father, "If I never tell a lie, how can I get to be a president?" Red Button said that. One of the most striking differences between a cat and a lie is that the cat has only 9 lives. But a lie can live on and on. That's by Mark Twain. Henny Youngman said, "My brother-in-law tells people he's a diamond cutter. He mows the lawn at Yankee Stadium." He's a diamond cutter. That's funny. Some of us get that. I apologize, guys. My asthma today. I went into a building today where they had air fresheners and it just shredded my lungs. Milton Berle said, my wife never lies about her age. She just tells people she's as old as I am. Then she lies about my age. Mark Twain passed in 1910. I believe that. Yeah, he's been gone a long time. Hey, Vanessa. Thank you. Bless you. All right. Why is it when you tell a series of truths and a series of lies, people believe the lies? I don't know. Have you ever played 2 truths or 3 truths and a lie? It's where you tell 3 things about yourself and then you tell a lie about yourself, and the people there have to guess which one is the lie. I've played that a few times. It's a lot of fun. And the truths should be things about you that are kind of hard to believe. Like one of my truths might be, I used to be a bodybuilder. People aren't going to believe that. They're not going to believe that at all. One of my other truths would be, I've been in a major motion picture. People don't believe stuff like, of course, I can't tell. Yeah, I could tell all outlandish things. They'd have a really hard time figuring out the truth.
Just because it moves you doesn't mean it's motion.
It was a motion picture. Paparazzi? That was a good one. That was our first movie date, was going to see me in a movie. And they had cut the scene with me and the actor out. So I used to be a bodybuilder. I've been in a major motion picture. I'm a published author. What can my lie be? Help me with a lie, you guys. Nice to see you chirping. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you made it. I hope your birds are okay. I hope nobody's got sauerkraut or whatever. Mine are all fine. They're all fine. They're snuggling up real close together tonight. Dave chirping said hi. Chirping said hi. Hi,
Okay,
Dave.
hi.
He said hi. So what could my lie be? I'm a vegetarian. I'm glad your birds are all better. That's awesome. What could my lie be? I'm a vegan? No, people know I'm not a vegan. I put milk in my coffee. Can't be a vegan. I don't know. I used to play in a rock and roll band. I've never played in a rock and roll band. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to cut this off too because I've been here for 37 minutes. So we're going to say goodnight. God bless you. Have a good evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate the thumbs up. I do appreciate the support. I'll see you in my next live.